Buenos dias, amigos y amigas. Mi nombre es Jerk. Y hoy tenemos Kraken número 169 in el New Mexico. And that's about where my Spanish stops for now. This has been a pretty heavy Kraken week, and as a matter of fact, this was the very first game I played today. And just so you all know, what I do is kind of have a mental list of ships I'm going to play that either people have requested or that I want to do a video on, and then I play those until I get a Kraken in one, or until I pull all of my hair out. So sometimes I get lucky, it's the first game of the day like this, and I'm done, I can go play Cyberpunk. But on this day, I was feeling very lucky, and I played two. Both of them were Krakens, so we will have the second half of this back-to-back probably tomorrow. But let's talk about this ship. As most of the American battleships, it's like molasses in January. I think it tops out at like 18 knots, give or take. Slow enough that a Fantastic in reverse would definitely outrun it. But it does have great torpedo reduction, which you will see me try to utilize in a bit, as well as having good agility, which you will also see me try to utilize in a bit. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games. First, let me flash Billiam Sims up on the screen so you can see my setup, and then we can talk about this map and match, as I'm going to have to play this ship quite a bit different than my usual brawling style. We're on Fault Line, which I assume refers to a hidden void on this map that sucks everyone's common sense into it and forces them to play questionably. If you watched any of T-Bull's videos, then you've heard him preach relentlessly about how this map should be played, and I agree with him 100%. If you've watched many of mine, then you know I'm a big fan of the center spawn, thanks to it giving you access to the entire enemy team, and that's even more crucial when you're in a big, slow American battleship. So I'm pretty much staying where I am. My teammate, also in a super slow New Mexico, opts to overload the west, but as you can see, I can hit the ships over there from right here. So why would I reposition over there? It looks like the red Fuso is choosing to flash broadside to our team to try and get a turn in, and this is the beauty of a crossfire. Had they continued the way they were heading, then they run the risk of getting blapped by me. If they turn to angle away from my shots, they get broadside to my teammates, and you can see the consequences. I've kept the terrain on my right to protect my right side, I've angled my bow to the red team's center spawn, and the center of the map is currently being screened by a friendly Gremiashi, so I should be alerted to any incoming torpedo threats. This is a very valuable lesson on why the center spawn is the best spawn. 4 minutes into the match, we've lost a destroyer and a cruiser. The red team has lost a battleship and a cruiser, and though we have the same number of ships, we're down due to the value of destroyers, and that's going to be a problem. We've got 2 battleships out to the far west to the enemy's 1, and had that friendly New Mexico that spawned with me opted to not go over there, I'd be feeling a lot better, because I'm sure a lot of us can see what's going to happen now. I want to get a turn in and get my nose facing south while the California is behind that island, and then that way I can set up a crossfire on any red ships pushing up the east. I'm fully expecting the destroyers to become an issue very soon, and to control where my engagements happen from, I need to get back to that big island so I can protect my broadside from any projectiles. But you can see I am pretty nervous here, and this is just because of how slow that New Mexico is. If that California were to come around the island right now, I would probably be in some very serious pain, but for whatever reason they don't, and I do get this turn in, and now I'm spotted, and I know the kamikaze's close, so hopefully this Gremiashi will be able to take it out.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
In rapid succession, their destroyers have removed another 3 friendlies, and that's what I was afraid of. I'm holding off from completing my maneuver in the hopes our Gremiashi will spot the kamikaze, and I can assist, but unfortunately I can't. The red team, however, can assist their kamikaze, and our Gremiashi is going to go down with that.
Bullseye!
So we're in quite the pickle now. But I love pickles. Especially those Mother Pucker pickles. Man, those are good. So that was a word from our sponsor. Excuse me. A lone battleship will need to delete 2 destroyers. We know the kamikazes weak. I have no idea on the health of the Mayhem. Throw in a cruiser coming. And then all we have left are 3 battleships. Fortunately, this Nuremberg is quite low, so we can remove them with ease and then immediately switch over to HE. The odds certainly aren't in my favor, but I'm here to tell you we're going to see some strategy, and I'm certainly not going to make it easy for these guys. Here's what we know. The Mayhem has me spotted. The Mayhem has very poor concealment as well as short-range torpedoes. I'm not in immediate torpedo danger because no one is contesting the cap, so I'm positioning myself to catch the kamikaze try and torp me from behind, or if they should choose to come around the island. But should anyone start contesting our base, then I'm going to know that it's time for shields up, red alert. So I'm just kind of sitting here, buying my time, waiting for these guys to choose how they're going to do this. And there's the kamikaze. I guess this is where it gets into Psychology 101 and thinking of this game like chess, and now I'm going to do the King's Gambit. With their position blown, 9 out of 10 kamikaze players will just YOLO it, so I'm going to get my nose towards them, and again, have the engagement the way that I want to. I've got good agility, I've got very good torpedo damage reduction, but my main concern is going to be that Mayhem rushing me at the same time or sending in a wall of skill while I try to deal with the situation in front of me.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes to port.
One down. 4 to go. So we've made it through that without a scratch on the paint. And the cap is back to being uncontested, so we're still safe from the Mayhem. But now we've got a battleship approaching. So now what? Well, it's a pretty safe bet the destroyer's on the south edge of the map, going by how I've been spotted this time. And unless the Fuso does a hard turn, I'm going to once again try and use this island to control how these engagements happen. I'm also going to try and bait the Mayhem into getting on the cap. At least I'll know for certain where they are at that point, and I'm going to do that by making it look like I'm leaving. Hook, line, and sinker. I have the added benefit of keeping the island between the Fuso and myself, and that might just give me the time needed to take out this last destroyer. As much as I want to, we don't dare go for the dev strike. It's just too risky for that. So I'm going to fire the guns I have and change my direction in hopes of dodging the torpedoes that are surely on their way.
Torpedoes astern.
We've dropped spot, so let's reposition. We're going to get a turn in to get our bow facing more towards where the Mayhem was, and to be ready for that Fuso that is surely about to enter the dance. Patience is a virtue. And there's the Mayhan. And there goes the Mayhan. And right on cue, here comes the Fuso. So we finish up with one dance partner, and now it's time to go on to the next. I am going to take a couple torps here, as much as I tried to dodge. But we will see. It could have been much worse. I unfortunately don't manage to take those all on the belt, so one of them does full damage, but, you know, not too much worse for wear right there, all things considered. As much as I'd like my 15th solo warrior medal, I'm being realistic here, and I know this match is lost, but that doesn't mean I can't get a Kraken in the process. And it certainly doesn't mean I'm going to take the easy way out and go for the ram. So sorry, buddy, you don't get the satisfaction of ramming me. I don't go down that easy, and when you come at the king, you best not miss. We unfortunately lost a turret in that interaction, but we did dodge the ram, and now I'm expecting this player to overturn and give me their broadside, but to their credit, they don't. So I take that chance to try and disable their guns, to try and get a turn in and get my bow back to facing them. Their turrets are out of sync, which makes this a little risky, but what have I got to lose? Certainly not the match. Because it's gone already.
Problem solved, sir.
And what do we have here? HE shells raining in from another battleship. HE shells. Sweet baby Jesus. Let's just go ahead and put this Fuso out of his misery and secure this Kraken.
Enemy battleship sunk.
So there we have it. Definitely not going to be a win, but still a pretty good match. And I think this offered some good insight into engagement control. Maybe a little higher level strategy with positioning. A look at why the B spawn is the best spawn. Some friends become enemies, some enemies become friends. Everybody's richer from the experience. That's a Family Guy joke. So thanks for watching, everybody. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode. I hope you got something from this, even if it's just as some entertainment. If you did, hit that like button. If you're a Fuso captain who can't complete a ram from 2 kilometers, then you're probably going to want to hit dislike. Questions, comments, requests, yada yada yada. You can leave those below. If you aren't subscribed, and I have it on good authority that most of you aren't, then do yourself a favor and just click that red button. You don't need to be scared. I'm here to walk you through it. For those of you that stick around, I will catch you on the second half of this back-to-back Kraken, probably tomorrow. But in the meantime, I'll get back out there and try to get another, and we'll talk soon. I just saw this now. Look, I score by 1 point.